You've been there before. Dozens of attempts, same boss, won't go down. Some attempts feel close, some do not, and some do definitely not. No matter what you do, you just can't kill that goddamn boss. And then something weird happens. The more you try, the worse you play. Like, you're somehow doing worse with time, not better. How is it possible that on your 43rd attempt, the boss ends the fight with more HP than on your first? That makes no sense at all. None. It's also 3 in the morning and you should be sleeping anyways. You think, let's try again tomorrow. So, you wake up, drink your coffee, finish your morning main quest and sit back down. First attempt, the boss goes down. Nice. So the question now isn't just how you beat it. The question is, why did it suddenly work? A lot of people would say, well, you're rested now. That's why you're more focused. And sure, that sounds kind of reasonable, right? But there's actually a study about this. So not too long ago, a professor at the University of Illinois started this study based on a specific hypothesis. He states that attention is not dependent on being rested. As a matter of fact, attention doesn't get used up at all. It doesn't run out, ever. It's always available. According to this theory, the problem of maintaining attention is never caused by exhaustion. Because even when your thoughts drift and you feel like you can't concentrate anymore, your attention is still somewhere. It's just not where you want it to be. You don't suddenly fall asleep. I mean, hopefully, of course. The real issue, according to him, is doing the same thing for a long time. Because our brain has the tendency to start filtering things out when we repeat monotonous, unchanging actions. Well, you know, when you put on a shirt, you feel it at first, right? And after a while, it's like, it's still there, but you don't really notice it anymore. Or there's also a visual effect for this called the Troxler effect. If you stare at a single point long enough, everything around it slowly fades away. It's not gone, your brain just stops paying attention to it. And the same thing, well, at least kinda the same thing, also happens in boss fights. If you perform the same combos against the same movement patterns for long enough, your brain eventually starts filtering stuff out. And you become sloppy, inaccurate, unfocused. Not because you're actually bad, your brain checks out. So, how do you get out of this attention death spiral? Simple. Distraction. An attention reset. It's your new excuse for regular coffee breaks. But to really put this whole theory to the test, the study divided all participants into 4 different groups. They all got the same task, 50 minutes of repetitive, monotonous computer task. But the conditions were different. Group 1 completed the task without any breaks or distractions. Group 2 and Group 3 were given 4 random numbers to memorize before starting. Group 2 only had to recall those numbers at the end, that's important. And Group 3 had to recall them twice, so they were tested during the task. Just enough to force their brain to briefly switch gears. And Group 4 didn't get any numbers beforehand, but they had numbers appearing during the task. They were just told to ignore them. The result was very clear. All groups had a measurable drop in performance over the 50 minutes, except one. Group 3, the only group that stayed consistent. This basically proved that the brain doesn't lose attention over time if you distract it once in a while. It reacts very strongly to change. Briefly disengaging from the current goal creates like a small reset and keeps attention high. 2 brain switches in 50 minutes. That's basically all it took. So you didn't actually need to sleep on that boss fight. A short break would have probably been enough. At least from a pure attention standpoint. Because while sleeping didn't do much for your attention, it absolutely did something else for you. Something that made you actually play better the next day. Everything we learn through practice. And what matters here is what exactly happens in our brain when we practice something. Every movement we make, whether it's throwing a ball or pressing a button on a controller, starts a signal in the gray matter of the brain. Below that is the white matter, which is mostly fat and nerve fibers. From there, the signal travels through nerve strands called axons, from the brain down to the spine, to the muscle. Obviously only when you're sober. Otherwise, that signal tends to take a wrong turn. Now pay attention, this part is important. The axons in the white matter are wrapped in something called myelin. When we practice something, myelin is exactly what changes. Think of it like the insulation on a cable. It prevents energy from being lost during transport. That's what myelin does. And the more you practice, the better insulated those axons become. They work more efficiently, more reliably. The more myelin layers around an axon, the better it can carry signals to the muscle. Myelin turns a rough dirt path through the forest into a gravel road, and then, with enough practice, into a multi-lane highway. You probably already knew this, by the way, just maybe not by this name. Because what we just described is what most gamers call muscle memory. And once your lines are insulated, they stay that way. And myelin layers can only be broken down by specific serious neurological diseases. That's why you can still ride a bike after years without touching one. Now, it's nice to know what we can do to beat the boss, but game developers know all of this too, and they try to build solutions into the game to help you actually, even when it really doesn't feel like helping at first. We all know that incredibly frustrating feeling when you fail a hard section and respawn way back at the beginning. Some people rage quit right there and sell the game immediately. Understandable. You have to redo the whole path you already know by heart just to get back to where you actually want to be. The gamer walk of shame, everyone knows it. But here's a little spoiler. A game doesn't do that just to frustrate you. Well, not only that. The sense of achievement also grows when you finally beat something that brutally hard. A boss feels a lot more important when you can't just casually fight him whenever. You have to earn your appointment first. But that's not the main point here. The main point is that the far back spawn point actually serves a purpose that's meant to help you learn the hard section faster. Because what happens when you jump straight back into the same boss over and over? You lose attention. Your performance drops. What happens when there's a section in between? Your brain briefly steps away from the task of fighting a boss. You get an attention reset handed to you on a silver platter. So next time you die in a hard section and spawn way back, don't think, what the hell is this garbage game? Think instead, thank you, dear developers, for helping me get further faster in this game. I mean, in this garbage game. Because yeah, it helps, but that doesn't mean it's not frustrating. And even when the brain resets aren't working anymore, then it's probably just time to go to sleep. And once we've got our myelin sorted out, this garbage game will know exactly who the real boss is.